Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the Weathersfield School Board to order on May 12th, 6:30 on the dot. Okay, 6:30 on the dot. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. And then would you lead us, please? Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any changes or additions to the agenda? Okay. Next, we'll do approval of the minutes for 7, which was actually our big meeting. Has everyone reviewed them?
Move to accept.
Okay. We don't need a second, right? Yeah, second.
We don't need a
John,
second.
We don't need a second, okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have any public participation today?
Not in person.
Online? Oh, okay. Do we have any public participation today? Online? Nope. Okay. All right, we are ready for the administrative report.
Good evening. So here's my lead learner report for Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. First off, we'll start off with our motto. You know what to do, so do it. It's a great motto for our students to have, and it's an easy win for them to remember. And then we'll let's review our mission statement. The mission of the Weathersfield School is to prepare and empower students to be leaders with a global vision by helping them develop critical thinking, communication, collaboration, skills, and creativity. So, PTO, you're up already. So, Jamie Richardson is here to do our PTO report.
Been a minute since
I know, huh? It's
It's
a splash back. So excited to have you here. Thank you for being here in person as well. We appreciate it.
It's really joy. I really get the lucky one this year. So the one that I get to do is where I get to brag about a few things. So I do have some notes from our fearless leader, Jess Brown, our president, just to make sure I, hit on all the things. But it's been a wonderful year. I honestly can't believe that we're winding down, right? There's got to be a day count. I don't know. Georgia hasn't told me how many days yet. How many? 22 days?
Wow.
Now that's a little bit stressing me out. So we're gonna move on from there. But we've had such a wonderful couple of months. The swing sets are installed, and now we know like middle school level are fighting over them because they're so beloved. Just for a rumor outside, Kendall, the mid levels are like 6 is not enough. We need more swings, which is not going to happen right now. But anyway. Very, very excited, and we couldn't be happier that they're in and that they're loved and they're being used by kids who didn't use the swings before. So, who knew that a swing set would bring so much joy? And so, just thank you for making it all come to life and, making it bring it. So, super excited to have that. And, our fundraising efforts are directed towards big give backs. Of course, we do some smaller stuff as well. But to make a bigger impact is sort of at the core of what we're trying to accomplish. We have a lot of wonderful donors in our community, and they like to see those funds going towards something that is important in the school. So it's visual aid is always really helpful, and the swing sets are now up and contributing to a great benefit for years to come. Last week, we had the pleasure of celebrating our incredible staff. So it's nationally known, I think, as Teacher Appreciation Week. No, it's not just about the teachers, it's about the staff. So we've always said, it's just about every human that engages with our students here at the school. So Staff Appreciation Week theme this year was Farmers Market. And it provided kind of a special touch point every single day of the week. And this one was so much fun. Not that any of the others aren't, obviously, but the first day we had a market days. So again, with the contributions from local creators and bakers and producers, we were able to provide what felt like a really robust farmers market style shopping experience for our staff. Obviously, as much locally sourced goods that we could possibly get. It is not a great time for produce here in New England, so we did the best we could with that, but it was really fun to see that happen. We had a DIY flower bar the next day, so make your own little bouquets of flowers, a blind date with a book paired with cozy items, and bookmarks that were designed by our by our students. Great. And then we did a huge salad bar lunch on Thursday. And then we've been wanting to do what we call a woo-woo cart for years. So the woo-woo cart is it was a mobile lemonade stand, right, Sarah? So Sarah was part of the moving this year. And so we went to every classroom and gave lemonade and a fresh locally baked cookie to our staff as just we did a little disruption. Kids really were envious of that. And just kind of a nice way to wrap up the week and start spring, right? The next weather and all of that. So additionally, all week long, the staff participated in fun activities and raffles with some great raffle baskets and gift cards. And so we just, this is a really, really special week for us. So giving as much as we can to that week to our team, all of you, really important to us. So I heard some good feedback and are already obviously planning for next year with a lot of different themes. So as we look ahead to the end of the school year, right, 22 days, but less than that, we have a field day. And so we are bringing back the Kona ice truck that will be part of the activities that morning. And then we'll have some staff, we'll have some volunteers on site to help with the staff. You know, it's another great way for us to be on site and help make it a really, really fun end of the year for the kiddos. And the last thing I want to mention is we are starting to do our budget and our calendar for next year. So generally we like to come at the end of summer and talk to all of you about what our plans are and go through the calendar and just make sure everything is okay. But we do have a date planned for Cadra. And so I just want to get that into the universe. And it is Friday, September 19th. We are hopeful that is, I don't know if that's something y'all have to vote on or if you yes, there is not probably. So yeah. Awesome. Tag that on to the to-do list. That would be great. And then we'll bring all the other stuff to you all or by us and the team. Any questions for PTO?
Nice board appreciation.
We have stuck to plans for that.
Okay.
Perfectly in the works. It might take some years. I'm not sure. But thank you as always for a great year and a great support. It's it's wonderful, and we just thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jamie.
you, Jamie.
We appreciate you. All right, student leadership, Kendall.
Yay.
I'm going to highlight just a couple of things, kiddo, okay?
We're doing a cereal box domino challenge. Kids bring in any kind of cereal and we're gonna knock it down like a domino. And then we're all gonna donate the cereal to charity.
Just push the first box over.
I don't know how we're doing that yet.
We'll plan it out. We're gonna see how many we get, see if we can go up or go down the stairs at least.
And
Through
we're
the
hoping to
hallway.
get enough that we can go all the way from kindergarten all the way around. Hopefully.
We only have 40 boxes, Kendall.
So we need to get on it.
Yeah.
Announcing it every
So are
day.
you looking for donations of cereal? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes. We sent that, it's been out in the newsletter, and then I also sent it to all of you today in an email, so you guys have that flyer, so.
We say it during announcements every morning.
Yeah, so we're trying to grow it up to see what we can get. So, slow to start off with, but we're getting it. It's a nice colorful flyer that the kids made.
Oh, wow.
Eighth graders doing raffle tickets going around. And we're making baskets that they can win with their raffle tickets. There's fishing, car supplies. We have like 3 or 4 movie baskets. Like spa supplies and stuff like that.
Very silly tickets.
How can we get tickets, Kendall?
2 for 1 and 6 for 10.
Do we see a middle schooler?
The eighth grader, right?
Eighth grader?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you happen to have any tickets with you?
My bad.
Do you accept checks? Visa, MasterCard?
Cash only.
Venmo?
Well,
Yeah.
Jackson already went around and got everybody at the
He got me.
school.
You got one.
I haven't bought any.
Anything else? What about this thing coming up on Friday? What are you guys doing on
We
Friday?
have our 8th grade dance
And dinner, it's all
dinner.
semi-formal, you guys get dressed up. You were waited on by the staff here. You excited about that? It'll be nice because it's not gonna be like 95 degrees. Usually it's really warm
Yeah,
in the AP room and everybody's standing about the door trying to stay cool. It gets hot, but it's only for eighth graders too, which is cool.
yeah.
Good opportunity for them to bond together one last time.
And we're working on field day, talking about that on Thursday. And then graduation practice after Labor Day. So, more of it.
All right, anything else? Good job, thank you. You have one more of these to do. In June. All right, thank you, Kendall, we appreciate you. All right, we do have a couple of new staff members, so they're not Weathersfield, they're gonna work in Weathersfield, but they're not Weathersfield funded employees. So Shannon Harrington, who is currently one of our amazing social emotional interventionists, she did get a position as a special educator, so she'll be moving into that role in the fall. And then we were able to get Karen Pryor, who currently works in early childhood education, has many years in that, will be one of our other special educators. So we're excited to have both of them on board as part of the supervisory union team, but especially here at we'll be here tonight. So because Naomi Goodwin is shifted into the paperwork position and we are down special educator, we were down special educator most of the year because one of ours retired early. So that's those 2 positions. All right, the STAR assessment window is open. It'll be open until May 22nd. So it opened up yesterday, so the students have 2 weeks to do STAR math and STAR language arts, and then you'll get your data report in June at our June board meeting. Okay, Jamie already stole my thunder. So your thunder, it's our thunder, our thunder. So our swings, I also wanted to thank the road crew here at Weathersfield because they came out and they had the fun and excitement of tearing down the old swing set. Anytime you get to use heavy equipment and take something down, it's always fun. That's one of my joys to do that. So they were able to take it down and they recycled the items and had the area prepped. And then I also want to thank Jim and his team for digging all the holes, getting everything set and installing the actual swing set. And then it was able to cure for a few days before we had kids on it. Once kids got on it, it has been, like Jimmy said, nonstop. And what's really awesome is we have an ADA compliant swing so that everybody can use the swing set. So it's not something that we keep out there all the time, but if we have the need, we will have it and can put it out there on the swings so everybody can potentially use the swing set. Jamie also mentioned staff appreciation, which is good. This is good. We're on the same line here, so which is good. And what I was excited about is I was really excited about the farmers market thing because that was one of my criteria 5 years ago when I interviewed and moved here, that I wanted to be involved in a fall festival and I wanted to be at a farmers market at my school. And so we can check that box now. Thank you, PTO. So we appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I was at training for 2 of the days, so I missed a couple of things, but I got pictures and I know that the staff was super excited about that. This was nice. We also had family STEAM night going on. which was an incredible event. So thank you to all of our staff that participated in that and to our families. We also had Black River Technology come up from Springfield, as well as the River Valley Tech, and the drone club in Springfield participated too. So it was a nice evening of different events, and kids were active and had hands-on learning, which was great. And so it's become an annual event, so we appreciate that.
So it's gonna start raining here any minute. Cold and.
And then we had, so in our art class, we had a pottery master. So Susan Leader came here and worked with the kids and worked with our art teacher on how to utilize our pottery wheel better. And it was fun to see the kids throwing pottery and working with her. So she was here for a couple of days doing that with our kiddos. And then one of the things that I love for the next slide is that a couple years ago when we got the tables out here for lunchtime, where I came from, that was a normal thing you eat outside. It was such a foreign concept here. And I was like, we've got some sunny days, let's use them. So the kids absolutely love it. It took the staff a little while to get used to it, but now I think they love it as well. But the kids get to eat outside. And the other day when it was 65 degrees out, a first grader said to me, Mr. Martis, now I know what it feels like to be in an oven. And I said, it's 65, it's not bad. But to him, that was like being in an oven. So I was a little shocked by that, but we'll go with it. We did our monthly fire drill on April 28th, which was great. And then we are in the planning stages of doing a relocation fire drill. So we're working with our fire department as well as with our bus company to actually get kids on the bus and relocate. So if our school site is an unsafe place to be, how we could get to a different area. So that should be coming up at the end of this month. Leadership Day is one of the big events that's coming up. I know that's really small. That's why I sent you all a schedule. So you have it in your email of what's happening on that day. So that'll start at 8:15 in the morning on Friday the 22nd. It's an opportunity to see our students in action and see some of what they have been doing all year long. And it goes from 8:15 until 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, all the students get their days because it is an early release day. And then as a staff, we come back together and talk about things that went well. And it's always great because then we start planning for the next year. So this will be our third annual Leadership Day. And then there is a long list of upcoming events. Again, the print is very small because every time I walk down the hallway, I think of something else that I forgot. So I've added some things on there. I sent you that list, and I will send you guys an updated list as well. But we have a student informants tomorrow night, 4th and 5th grade, Bake for Good King Arthur Baking Day is on Thursday we have a representative from King Arthur that comes in and actually teaches a class to our students, our 4th and 5th graders. Information went home to those particular grade levels, but she'll be here to teach them how to bake bread. And then every 4th and 5th grader, courtesy of King Arthur, goes home with bags of flour, yeast, and all the necessary things with the exception of eggs, to be able to make bread at home. And then the hope is that they make the local bread at home and then make a second loaf of bread that they can donate to somebody in the community, neighbor, the food shelter, whatever. And we have lots of different things. Baby Shark Tank is coming up on the 27th, where our kids are going to compete. We have a Baby Shark Tank elective this year for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So they've come up with a product that they have developed, and then they are also going to then present it to a panel and try to get funding for that potential project. So that's going to be on the 27th. So if you're interested in that, and there's a couple other things, but I'll let Christine.
Is that during the day?
It is at 11:20 in the morning, right during their elective time. It's pretty extensive. Lots of great things going on here at Weathersfield School.
Right. Yep. Okay. We'll see some similar events because we've all been engaged in them, but I like to start out with just connecting us to our goals that we're always working on within our strategic plan, which are student success and engagement and culture and student and staff wellness. And when I was here this week, I got to witness a teacher really promoting student success. I think you were in that class. Yeah. So our teachers really take pride in making sure our kids master things, and if they don't, they're more than happy to pull them into a small group and work with them. So I got to witness that in action, and it really does make a difference. And I would say Miss Stilson is I mean, she's been here forever, and she just has this way about her that really connects with kids, and it's really fun to see her in action. So, and then I was in kindergarten at the K1 combo class, and couldn't resist taking a picture there of Grace in her scientist outfit because she was doing some science research in kindergarten while some other kids were taking orders for at a restaurant. It was just really fun and engaging. So the staff here does a really nice job with making sure students are successful and engaged in learning. I came to Steam Night for a little bit too, and I was really impressed. And it just, whenever I come to an event here at Weathersfield, it just really speaks to the community that the staff are creating within the building and in the larger community. And kids were showing their parents how to create things and make things, and it was just really an impressive event. So kudos to the staff and Brian, and BJ is always here helping these things happen. So that's the fun. We'll get to some not so maybe fun stuff. Just a couple. I do a lot of the legislative updates at the SU board meeting, but there are a couple I just want to highlight tonight. This one is the yield bill, which has been when it went to the Senate Finance, they incorporated language around they incorporated language around the threshold. So right now, currently, I have some information to share with you on kind of what it looks like. So the yield part of the yield bill, which incorporates S220 now, the Senate passed version sets the yield at $9,395, and it uses about $101 million in a buy down for property tax buy down. The House version sets the yield at $9,170 and wants the buy down to be about half of what that is, about $53 million from the general fund. Those are the differences in the yield bill part of the whole package. S220 is the excess spending threshold part, and in the Senate passed version, there it reduces the excess spending threshold from 118% to 112%. It does include a hold harmless provision if the district's total education spending or per pupil education spending is not greater than the current year that you're in, or if the district receives approval from the secretary to exceed the threshold. So the House passed version left that excess spending threshold unchanged. So if it stays as is, and I believe it's in conference committee now between the Senate and the House, it would look like the impact for our SU and Weathersfield would be reductions, these very significant reductions. So for Mount Scottney School District, you would have to reduce the budget by 1.2 million, or be over the threshold and pay the penalty for that. Weathersfield, 738,000, and Heartland gets hit the most at 1.5 million. So, there's talk that it may not end up at 112. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between 112 and 118, but we won't know that until comes out of conference committee and gets voted up or down on the floor. So that's just for you to be aware of. That's a pretty significant amount of money to cut. It was hard enough to cut 149,000 this year. So I will keep you updated on that one. The other one I just want to share, we've talked about this one a lot this year, 8955. That's the transformation bill, as people call it. And surprisingly, I was in a meeting yesterday, the Senate had a very different version than the House, but as of now, the versions are very similar. They both create CSAs, and those are the Cooperative Education Service Agencies. Talked about those. And so, of upon passage, there would have to be, consideration of, within 45 days, we would have to be talking about creating these seesaws, which at a minimum would provide special ed services, business administrative services, professional development, curriculum coordination and development, transportation, facilities, master planning. I don't know exactly what all of that means, because that sounds like, the services that SUs provide already, so to be continued. They both would require merger studies, and I believe those are kind of blocked out, areas where those merger studies would have to happen. They don't force mergers, but, the foundation formula would go into effect, in FY 31. It would go into effect in the budget. And honestly, the foundation formula would force some mergers based on the numbers that we're seeing. So just wanted to keep you updated on that. And then I have the facilities update, but that's for later. So
Okay.
so back to you, Sarah.
BJ, is there a way to turn the heat down just a little bit? Thank you so much.
Pretty good here.
Yeah, Emily and I were like, "Ooh, we're gonna be steamy over here." Okay. All of a sudden, yeah, I was like, whoa, my eyes were clouding up. All right. Thank you very much, both of you. So next topic is the budget debrief. Obviously, our budget passed. And I just wanted to say, thank you to obviously the board. Any cut is not easy to make, and I feel like we got put through the paces, but I feel good about, some of the changes that we made, and, that the administration was, worked with us, and obviously the community, the support, teachers were out on Route 5 with signs. I know we were out there, so I think it was a team effort all around, and I know our kids and our teachers and our school as a whole definitely benefit from it. So I think everybody's relieved, but we also know we have our work cut out for us for next year. So we're already looking ahead to that, but I just wanted to say that. Does anybody else have anything to add?
Just that, having stood at the polls, both votes, and the second vote was about 150 less people, and obviously there were 150 less no votes. So it's interesting to try to figure out why it changed as much as it did. An interesting observation in the afternoon with the number of people that were there with kids. I'm assuming they voted the first time, but it's still the afternoon. It seemed like 2/3 of the people had their kids with them, both school age and younger. So I think that's encouraging to see those people show up. In the morning, I was apprehensive because it looked like, and this is, I'm being a little bit stereotypical, a little bit prejudiced, but it just didn't look good in the morning. Leave it at that. But in the afternoon, I thought they switched right over to the family.
Lot came after school. We went around car by car.
Begging.
My son was adorable, so we gave everyone candy and told them about, yeah. Not to say that they were
He was the
that
key.
much. He was the key.
Yeah.
He's got a better style than me. But a lot of parents were saying that they were going after school to vote, so it was really encouraging. Going through the line.
And I just wanted to thank some community members. I know they got out and were making phone calls to pass the budget and putting signs in their yards and talking to their neighbors and just in general trying to get out the vote. So we're so thankful that we have such a great community here in Weathersfield, parents and other community members that care about our kids too. So it's great.
Definitely, like I said, it was definitely a group effort for sure. And a quick turnaround. I mean, we obviously had to go by law and do all our warnings and our meetings, but thank you to Floanne and DJ and just everybody who it's a lot of work to put on a whole another election. And, so we definitely appreciate that for sure.
One other comment that, I did get an earful from a couple people that didn't claim they didn't know the votes taking place till they saw it some obscure place. So I think if, both, hopefully we don't have another revote, but next March, that we put our name out there a little bit sooner, a little more visible, possibly at the transfer station. It's tough. You know, you're really not supposed to put stuff in the intersection, but nonetheless, everybody else does. But maybe the transfer station and maybe a little more visibility in a couple other places in town might be helpful. Nothing else, just this is the day we're going to be voting.
Right.
Well, people are used to the March vote, but the second vote, they claim, I didn't even know anything about this. I think if we end up with a revote again, we really need to get the word out there.
Yeah. I
But we're
agree.
not going to get another revote.
No. I hope not. Anything else? No? Okay. Board engagement check-in. Anybody want to start?
I went to the forum last night at Springfield, which the Secretary of Education was there. He had a panel of legislators, and I didn't learn a thing. Sorry.
That's disappointing.
It was a cheerleading section.
Now, was that different than the one you attended, up in White River?
It sounds like it.
It sounded like, I thought it was supposed to mimic that, but
Yeah, the one that I was involved in, there was a panel, Joe Major was there, Rebecca was there, there's some other,
but no,
legislators.
not Zoe Saunders though, right?
Zoe was online
Okay.
and
Hmm.
did a lot of.
So it's interesting, seems like it took a different turn from the one you went to.
Yeah, Joe facilitated, moderated, and took a lot of questions from, the community and then asked the panel to respond to the questions. I don't know if that's how it went last night, John, but, it was informative, I thought, for one at Hartford. I didn't even know about the one in Springfield, so I don't know how well it was advertised.
I didn't see it until a couple of days
Yeah,
before.
right.
It was, probably 50 people there. It's supposed to be questions with responses,
Mhm.
and a lot of it just turned into people that were angry.
Yeah.
But not all. There were some good questions asked, but I was a little disappointed in the response.
What were they angry about? Was it they angry about consolidation or angry
What
about
else?
taxes? Taxes.
Money.
But he was saying before, the answers from them were not really
Mhm.
great, unfortunately. Which if you can't get it from them, who do you get it from?
I don't know.
So, yeah, that's frustrating. Anybody else done anything funner than that?
Technically board engagement, we had our kinder screening, our little ones, and that was a really special, exciting day. So thank you guys and EJ for making that really special for Abram. Julia had a big smile too.
Yeah.
And an interesting, the Four Winds training, Monday,
Yeah.
Monday, we actually went down to the ravine and we actually got back out again.
Yeah. We went on training.
That
Yeah.
was interesting to be down there and see exactly what it's like.
Mhm.
That little stream, I gotta figure out where that's coming from. It kind of disappears around the corner in that direction, but anyway.
Yeah. Anybody else?
No, but I've always wanted to go down there. In my grade, when we were here, we had a girl who accidentally slipped and it was a whole thing. The fire department had to come rescue her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was wild.
We took the safe way around on Monday, but, yeah, I think the kids will like it. Hopefully they wear some decent shoes, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check it out with you guys.
Do you get a little bit of a glue slip from it?
It wasn't me, but
Okay, just making
it would have
sure.
been silent.
Yeah, we used to go down there for drills
Mhm.
when we did
Oh, wow.
on the drills. We had to go like crouch down or be okay.
Great.
Well, we've been, right now with our, we've been directed not to go down.
Yeah.
So, but if we had to, Absolutely.
Obviously it's the end of the year, so I think there's something every night. So most of us will be living here for the next 22 days, but, so there's lots of things to be engaged about.
Anybody wants to volunteer or chaperone a middle school dance Friday night again? It's always fun, and exciting. No takers?
No takers.
Okay.
Lot of talent, sorry.
All right.
No, I love the middle school dances. They're so much fun.
I've had my share of them, haven't we, Jamie? We've chaperoned a few.
I'm out of town, sorry.
Yeah. All right, so next we have, our TAN or our tax anticipation note that we, need to vote on and sign. So basically this, gives permission to Larry or
To the
as you-
district,
district,
the
yes.
Weathersfield district, to borrow money when we have a cash flow, if we have a cash flow issue. So sometimes revenues don't come in time to meet payroll or bills, so we have to borrow money.
And that goes to the town treasurer, am I correct?
Believe the town treasurer has to sign that as well.
Yes.
Lori has, labeled it very
Yes, she
clearly
has.
for you. You
Very
have to
clearly.
sign, every time there's a blue Post-it, you have to sign in blue pen, so she sent along a pen as
Okay.
well.
So we'll sign this, after, and yes, Steve Hires on here for the treasurer, but we do need to vote that we are accepting,
What's the amount that we're?
I think it's up to a certain amount. Let's see.
It's at the end of it, so
We traditionally had to use that
sometimes we do.
every year.
I wouldn't say every year, but we have to use it. Yeah.
oh, right here, I'm sorry. Is it the principal? Is it principal?
Yes.
Yes.
So 1,109,470.66.
They typically don't borrow that amount. It's just up
Right.
to that,
Up to, yeah.
whatever's missing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
66.
It was $1,109,470.66.
correct.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Right, we will take care of that. All right, next is the update on the boiler and other facilities projects. We had asked, or I had asked, I think, we had approved the purchase of the boiler with our capital fund, and so I just wanted to know where we were at with that with Jim and installation and all things that.
So Jim I'm reporting for Jim.
Mhm.
The boiler update is that the two new pumps that were put in are working very well. In fact, he said the wood chip boiler is currently running better than it has in a long time, which makes sense with the new pumps. In terms of like future projects, which you asked about, he said for the 5-year plan, which is on the website if you're interested in looking at it, the projects scheduled for next year are the domestic water expansion tank, which currently has a slight leak, making the timing good. And the wood chip boiler control panel, which Jim has talked to us about. Nice. The priority will be the expansion tank, but the control panel is in the plan, and Jim intends to also replace that in FY 27 as planned. So those are the two items on the docket for placement.
Okay,
No, you gotta sign all the blue cards.
If you don't, you will get an email from Lori.
the only other thing that I had as a note, and I forgot last meeting, was, is there a way to get our parking lot lights fixed?
parking lot lights.
Yep.
Ryan shaking, is that
Yes.
on your radar?
It's on our radar already, so
Perfect.
they're aware of it, so they will be getting those
Okay.
fixed.
I've had a couple late nights where it's pretty dark down there. One's flickering, one's off, so,
Yeah.
I have
So
made a note to
disco
thank you. It is a disco light. Does anyone have John, you wanted to give an update on the lighting?
The lighting project is well underway. Kudos to our staff. Woody's done an excellent job. All the classrooms are done.
Not this one.
Okay,
I know.
this is a
I saw you look at Vince. and I was like, this one is not done
Music
yet.
and art is not done.
Yes.
Other than that, the high ceiling work is gonna be done during the summer, which would be the AP room and the gymnasium. But he's really done a good job of getting all the others, so we're already reaping benefits in the power consumption. And I'm glad to say it's gonna be well below budget.
Wonderful news. Thank you.
And I do have Monday at 11 o'clock, there's a meeting at the end of Schoolhouse Road with V-Trans for the crosswalk. Regional planning, Otis, don't remember his last name, will be there. Hopefully the town will be there, because the way I understand it, the town is gonna need to take lead on this. Or maybe regional planning, but Brian, somebody from the school will be there.
First time hearing of it, so Monday at 11, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
You said that's V-Trans and the regional, like, planning?
Mark, Scotty Regional Planning. And then we get to hear all the reasons why they can't do it. Then we get to say, why not?
All right.
Does it still need a sidewalk section? Did it still need like a sidewalk section with it?
We'll find out maybe.
Yeah.
Someday.
In an ideal world, we'd have a sidewalk coming up the road, but if you look at the contours, that would really be tough. It's interesting because for years, there was always a cross signal down at Route 5, and it was never turned on because there was no sidewalk. So during the last project, they put about a 4-foot sidewalk in, now there's a walk signal.
We will see what that brings us, I guess.
So maybe we're gonna have to put in a 4-foot sidewalk.
Thank you, John, for that. Anybody have any questions about Jim's update on our exciting updates?
Did we get the doors figured out?
They are currently working with the button and everything, so we had them out and fix those, yeah. So they're-
But we didn't get the grant, right, for the doors?
Not yet, we're still gonna work on that. Yes, we're not there yet, we didn't.
Okay, so next is the We Are Hope.
Yeah, so with We Are Hope, so we talked about that before, that our We Are Hope, the funding source changed for We Are Hope. And so we were able to finish out the rest of the year through a grant through the Thornton Foundation. They were gracious enough to give us money to finish that out. So we're looking at funding sources for next year because it was taken under Medicaid.
It was.
And that funding source has changed with the state of Vermont. And so, but we will thank the foundation and then make sure that the board accepts the donation of $25,000 to school to continue with those services.
Okay, so we'll vote on that. Or vote to accept, yeah.
And then
You
I-
said $25,000?
Correct. And then I did want to address, there was a question online about the swing set, is why the ADA compliant swing was just not out there, why didn't you get a request? Currently, we don't have any students that are in need of the ADA swing, so we wanted to make sure that it is accessible when we need it for a student, but to be able to have other students use it, and it's, kids getting on it could be
Break it,
troublesome, break it and everything else. So if we have students, obviously they need it, then it'll be up. Or if we have students that are coming to visit or do whatever, we'll figure that out. Right now, we want to be able to have it for the rest of the students, and then we have it there readily available to be able to put out there. So if that answers the question.
She said thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, great. Next is Hicks Nichols And
I'm gonna
Do
go
you
ahead and
know
do
about
that.
that? Yes,
I do,
okay.
yes. So not our art department, our music department, our drama department, and our PE department put in a grant to get some new risers. So if any of you have been at a performance, when we have all of our students up there for, I'm gonna say the holiday one, where third, fourth, and fifth graders up there, it's really hard to see the kids. And our risers aren't in the best of shape. So they put in a request to be able to get a different set of risers that can fit more students on there. They requested to get 6 of them. And the great thing about the 6 risers is they have different configurations. They can be seats, they can be 3 set levels, they can be flat as a stage, and they are all easily movable according to the video that we watched. And then also one of the other schools within the SU Heartland purchased them a couple of years ago, and they're really nice. And so Hicks Nichols did grant the teachers that money to use it. So the price on that was $8,142 plus shipping. So shipping will be determined, but that's the way it was written in there. So as soon as we get approval, we will go ahead and order those.
Okay. Alrighty, so we will vote on that together, or do all the votes together? Should we do?
You
Or-
can do it,
You can do it.
the amount plus shipping.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way it was written in the minutes.
Okay.
The amount plus shipping, so.
Okay. All right, so next is the June meeting date and kind of the board retreats in one. Christine had discussed with all the chairs of the board for the SU, instead of doing our retreat in June separately, about doing one in August where our SU board retreat is all of the board members. So basically, she has a sample agenda. It would be like an all board member training, going over our usual part that she would do. And then we would have like a breakout session with our work of the board.
We're also, depending on what happens in the legislature, we may need some time to discuss and plan forward. So kind of leaving that a little bit up in the air, but obviously communicate as we know more. I'm working with Tracy Wren. She is a retired superintendent. She's a executive coach, and she has done these trainings in the past at the annual board chair superintendent training. So I've asked her to hold the date, and she's willing to do that. And as we know more about what's happening in the legislature, we'll flush out the agenda a little bit more. But we talked about having individual board time. She also mentioned she's done this before, so she's a pro. Looking at your annual board survey data, she has talked about an idea where those are shared separately, but also it might be nice for the boards to come back together and share what their goals are. You're more alike than you realize, to be honest with you, all the boards across the SU. So we'll flesh it out, share it with you all, and there will be time for individual boards to do what they need to do as well. And if we need more time, Sarah and I chatted today, we can always schedule something in addition if need be. That date we board chairs agreed was August 17th. And your June meeting date, your board retreat date was, I think your regular meeting would be a regular meeting date on the 9th. And so we always kind of struggle with when to do our end of year data report. We want it to be public, not really at a board retreat, which is not necessarily, it's not recorded and people don't usually come. So planning to share those end of year data reports at the June board meeting on the 9th, if that still works.
I cannot do the 9th. I have a thing with my son. He's graduating that.
Yeah.
Not that day, but it's the senior awards night is that night, and so I'll have to be there for that. But I won't be able to be.
And will you have data considering we're going to the 12th?
Going through the 22nd. Is our star assessment.
Yeah.
Will be done.
Oh, okay.
So we will have that data.
Of this month.
Yes.
Yeah.
For June,
All right.
yes. End of year data for June, yeah.
So I think we definitely need a regular June meeting, right? So we'll do data, and then I talked with Christine today about depending how things shake out in Montpelier through May or June, you know, we may need to have a separate board meeting also. Separate board retreat if we felt like we want to or need to. Does anybody have any
My suggestion was,
questions or concerns?
have the retreat in August. If it doesn't feel like you've had enough time together, then we'll schedule an additional.
Yeah, it feels like there's more, there's more that we do as a board, that doesn't involve business all the time.
I know.
That we're gonna lose probably. And the board has changed enough that I'm sure, I don't know about losing that altogether, I'd be worried.
So I mean, we could ultimately do both, right? I mean, so if,
We always have a meeting anyway in August, right?
We do,
Typical,
we
so.
typically
Yeah.
do, yeah.
so we could have two.
Are you talking about the community building, the team?
Yeah.
Yeah, getting together and
Yeah.
just
Right.
talking and
Right.
eating a meal together and.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the fun part.
I think it's important though,
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, just from obviously attending some of the SU board retreats, it is more of it's an agenda meeting, you know, so it's not quite the same feel
not as
as
intimate.
we
Not
normally
as intimate.
have.
There will be dinner to start,
Right.
as we do. The local boards typically I'll have dinner to start. Yeah, so whatever the board feels.
So we're doing it on June 9th. Oh, no.
Well, that's part of this. We'll need to decide what we want to do for June. You know, we need a meeting for June, but decide on a date. And then I just wanted to talk out the retreat thing about if you're,
And if nothing else works out better than the date that's already planned, I can just miss the June meeting, but, if there's, cause I'm not available, June 5th, June 9th, June 12th, or the full week of the 15th.
When are you?
yeah, and the 8th is graduation and, you know, there's other.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
And you're not available.
We're
like
not meeting in
Wednesdays and
July,
Thursdays?
typically we don't, right? So,
Right.
Was that retreat last year in June?
yes.
Okay. And
I'm sorry, what is the date again for this roundabout?
August
Thing.
17th.
Oh, August.
Yep.
June 23rd. I don't know.
I can do
I
that.
will be gone.
Oh, you're gone.
Sorry, I'm taking some time advantage of
Well,
I mean, that's another thought is that we could do our regular board retreat in June. Well, no, we can't do it without Anne-Marie.
But if we had like a different date, so was there another date in June that we could do that? I know we wanted to,
Do
I don't
our
know.
board retreat or
yeah,
just a
look at
meeting?
whatever.
Uh.
Yeah, like.
I think
Yeah,
it's
there's
good,
one
I think
meeting
it's good
and
to wait
go
until
into
after
a retreat.
until after the legislature comes back with whatever the decision, like if they do, I think it'd be good to have it after that, because otherwise all of our plans could very well just be thrown right out the window depending on what
If you're
they
just
decide.
talking about dinner and community building, I don't think it matters. If there's not a real agenda, if it's just like we're getting together to have a shared meal and talk, I don't think it matters. You do it for your board meeting, before your board meeting in June. It could be a retreat that then turns into a board meeting, or a board meeting that turns into a retreat. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
if
we're
it-
gonna do both, I think combining it in one night makes sense.
But we can't, I mean, can't really do that we shouldn't do that without Anne-Marie. And she's not available from the 8th through like the 20th. So I don't know if that's
Oh.
gonna happen in June. That's my only
Yeah.
thing.
Are you gone the week of the 16th, 15th?
Yes, that
Oh,
we
you are,
are gone.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm available, so the first week of June, I'm just not available Friday. The second week of June, I'm not available Tuesday or Friday. And the third week of June, I'm not available at all.
Does it have to be a Tuesday? So we've got some graduations at other places, but, I've got some time on the. Okay.
And Wednesdays and Thursdays are not
Bad for you?
not that close, you know, that's
Yeah.
only 3 weeks out, so.
Are we having a regular meeting in August pre-opening? Outside of this 17th item?
I think we could, because what I'm thinking is, why don't you guys just have a regular meeting in June, and then we'll do our board retreat, maybe. We're not having a meeting in July, right?
No.
So, and just maybe do our board retreat at our August meeting, our regular August meeting. Or the,
I mean, I guess that's where I was concerned too about. I mean, that's right, it is right before school, if there's changes or different business to go over, but
There may be, usually August is a pretty quiet reporting because it's been summer, so there's not a lot to share, but, that certainly is an option.
I was just wondering if we need a regular meeting.
We weren't planning to have, we
You
were
weren't
planning to have a
planning.
we're planning to have a joint retreat in August and not meeting, so it's kind of swapping June and August, yeah. So,
So then we need to have a meeting in June.
yes, a regular
Okay,
meeting,
okay.
yeah,
All right,
yeah. we need
always a
meeting.
regular meeting in June.
okay,
Um,
but we need to set that, let's set that date before we
Yeah.
move on now.
Yeah.
We elevate to it.
so regular board meeting in June. I mean, it sounds a little complicated the first few weeks. Do we want to just keep it the same? Can you join remote? You
well,
can.
that's.
Oh,
night of
that's
the
the
awards
night of
ceremony,
it. Oh,
so yeah, I won't be available at all. But it's fine if you guys want to have a meeting, or just a regular meeting in June, I'm fine missing a standard meeting, that's fine.
So it was set for the 9th.
It's set for the 9th, yes.
Yeah.
What does everybody think about that?
I'm fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
All right, so let's set our next meeting for June 9th, or what it normally was at 6:30. And we'll know that Anne Marie will be away. And then August 17th is the all board retreat.
Yep.
Which is a Monday night.
Yes.
Where is that gonna be held?
Right now it's in Windsor, unless I can come up with a better location. I'll give any ideas. You know,
Windsor High School.
210.
So what we could do is have that. And then if we feel we want to call another separate board retreat or piggyback onto our regular meeting like in September, does everyone feel comfortable with that? As
Yeah,
a solution?
point come August.
what?
Yeah, it'll be a decision point come August.
Right, and then, I mean, I think that if we do it in just 3 weeks, like we are not going to know certain things from Montpelier, and hopefully by August we would, and then we can go from there. All right, so sound like a plan?
That sounds great.
And then,
Plus I can't go without Anne Marie's, the dip you make every year. I think it's really good. Something in a crock pot.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the, yeah, I make different things, but yeah.
Very
What did I
good.
make last year? Last year I actually made dessert, but before that I made, I think, chicken.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
all right, does anybody else have any questions or comments on that? Someone may be winning out there right now.
Yes.
Here's some cheering. All right, so that sounds like a plan for the next 2 meetings, and then July, we're off. All right, so I guess next is some voting.
Next is some Voting
Motions? Yeah.
on the, yeah, Hicks Nichols for sure.
So can I get a motion to approve the Hicks Nichols grant in the amount of $8,142 plus the shipping and handling to be determined? Go ahead. For the risers, sorry.
So
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that's approved. We also need to accept, the donation, grant donation of $25,000 from the Bryan Foundation to support the We Are Hope program through the rest of the year. Do I have a motion?
Sorry, is this for the rest of this year or next?
It's for the rest of this year, and then there may be some funding for next year from it as well. It's the Burn Foundation, sorry.
Sorry.
That's okay.
What'd I say, Brian? Sorry. So moved. Okay. Anne Marie, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that is, and the other thing I had jotted down was to approve the date of the PTO pod drop event of September 19th.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. I think that was all I had. Yeah. All right, so setting the agenda for June. We'll have our board engagement check-in. Yep, star data.
We'll also need to add on there changing our truant officer, because we'll have.
That's right,
contract
yeah.
with the sheriff's marshal will be over. It'll- You can see this intact, but we'll.
Yep.
And then,
Hold up.
Make Kendall do an end of the year wrap up on everything that's happened throughout the school.
Is she gonna be, she's out of here on 8th, so.
Yeah, I know.
Are you gonna make sure to drag her back in here?
We may have possibly some numbers from Larry, maybe from out there.
We might have to use some updates
Yeah.
on, yeah.
So I'll put down like updates on the yield or just
He should,
how they ended the session.
yes, I mean, I
Well, that,
think technically they have till the end of June, but we should have before.
okay.
But, yeah. Yield numbers, yeah.
And then, Brian, will you have like an update of how we're looking for the beginning of the year?
Yep.
And I had one question that we skipped over, but, I'm concerned with the SEI position. Since we just fought to keep that, like, are we actively already looking for
Yeah,
that?
so Jordan was aware of it, so she's putting it out there on School
Awesome.
Spring. So we're starting to look for that first. So.
Okay. I just want to make sure we don't have a huge hole. Yeah. 'Cause we just fought to keep that. So I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, not that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're keeping Shannon, but it's in a different position. So that does affect for sure. So, okay. Good to know.
So we'll put, new hires on here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's what I was getting at, was maybe an update with any new hires or how we're looking. Does anybody have anything else that they can think of?
One other thing was the future agenda item, but not for June.
Yes.
CFO Larry Dower did a presentation in Heartland and gave, at their request, and he ran the numbers of what it would look like if they were part of Mount Scotia. And I think we should have the same presentation. Doesn't say we're gonna do it, doesn't say we're not gonna do it. I think it's important to see the numbers and where it would land us.
We talked about the August 17th date might be good
Yeah.
for that, for everyone.
Anyway, give us some consideration. We don't have to make a decision tonight, but I figured I'd throw it out there early.
Yeah.
Cause that's a biggie if we move.
And do we want to do anything for Wendy?
Like a gift from the board or what day is maybe we can show up at the party and say
Yeah, we'll
goodbye?
send you the invite.
Okay.
We, the last day of school, right? Somewhere. 12.
Okay.
We'll send you the invite. All right.
Good thinking, yes, yep. Anybody else have anything they can think of that they would like added? To your point, John, definitely, that's, I think, on the radar of multiple people, so Christine's hoping to have that be part of things to ponder, and we'll know by then, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we're waiting for, yeah, so, but definitely something to look at. Alrighty. I think if that's it, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Right. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye.